What's up guys, 8-Bit Frog here. Today we're going to be going to Total Nostalgia. This is a game store that is located in Trinity, Alabama. Now, I'm pretty sure you don't know where that is, and that's fine. It is actually a little town that's outside of Decatur, Alabama. It is literally in the middle of nowhere. This is a really cool store because not only do they have a lot of really good video games to pick from, they also have a lot of toys, action figures, pop figures, comic books, DVDs, strategy guides, you name it. It's got everything that you would think of, and that's the reason why it's called Total Nostalgia, to really hit that nostalgic feeling you get. I wasn't originally planning on going to another game store anytime soon. However, my friend Becker really wanted me to go with him. It was his off day, and so I thought, why not? I might find something that I really want to get, and it gives me the opportunity to share with you guys another good game store if you're ever in the area. So if this is your first time on the channel, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can keep up with all the uploads. It really helps a lot when you subscribe to the channel. I don't want you to miss out on any more game stores. I know that I like to travel, and anytime I travel to a different city, I like to try to find a really cool game store and share it with people. Let's dive into Total Nostalgia in Trinity, Alabama. Thankfully, it was another beautiful day. When it's springtime, you typically expect rain to come and things like that. Thankfully, the drive in from Huntsville was a really nice drive. When you're driving to Total Nostalgia though, it feels like you might feel like you're lost because you leave the city of Decatur and you start going down this highway and there's nothing out here until somewhere along the lines you see a group of little office buildings, and once you turn in, Total Nostalgia's there, and they have two of the office spaces. They originally used to only have one, but since they've grown, they have added so much to their store. As we walked in, you are just hit with nostalgia with all these action figures and toys. And I go over to the right and I see all these games that are in the glass, from Genesis to DS and Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, you name it. You see more action figures. I mean, this place is endless. So if you're ever in the area of Decatur, Alabama, make sure that you take this trip. It is totally worth seeing, and you might find something that you maybe miss having from your childhood. Going down this aisle and I could see all these different action figures and toys. My friend Becker here, he likes to collect action figures and pop figures. Been huge in the Batman series stuff, so he's been trying to get all those collected. Came across a really cool NWO Scott Hall Kevin Nash pack that was signed. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. In the glass, I see a lot of handhelds like Game Boys, Nintendo Switches, Nintendo 3DS and DS games. Down in the below, there's Super Nintendo games and Nintendo stuff, Dreamcast. A lot of the games that are more priced and probably more sought out. A lot of them seem like they're in really good condition, pretty decent prices. Right here I saw a Super Smash Brothers 3DS for $200. And right next to it was this really cool original 3DS that had modification with some homebrew stuff on it. And the main thing I wanted, and I wish I had the money for it, was this special edition Zelda 3DS XL. Man, that thing looks so nice. Another crazy expensive game I saw was that Pokemon Crystal for $220. Whew, I cannot believe how much those games have went up in price. And as I'm scrolling through, there's plenty of other games, and I'm really interested in that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. I don't have a whole lot in my Genesis collection, so I've been trying to pick them up as I go. I was looking at some of those Game Boy Color games. They got some reproduction Pokemon games right there and more Game Boy Color games. Here's a nice selection of Nintendo Switch games they have, between ones with complete copies. You got your loose games. I see a few PS Vita games there. I didn't pick them up because I really want to get the ones with the case. More games like PS2 stuff, really expensive games down here. I saw the Persona 4 Arena Ultimax which is cool. Of course, I'm going to get it on the Nintendo Switch. Then over here, you got a lot more PlayStation 4 games, PS3 games. And I thought this was really cool. The PlayStation 4 Dragon Ball Fighter Z, like a collector's edition box. Now we're into PS2 and PS1 games. There's so much. If you're looking for just common stuff, you could find some stuff for a good price here. And then I really like this. It's a Mortal Kombat fighting pad that you can use for your PlayStation. Me and my friend Blake, we love Mortal Kombat, and I would love to play with him. This store is just enormous. I mean, we are on the other side in the second office space, and there's just so much to look at. My friend Becker found this Batman Arkham Knight limited edition box, and it has a lot of really cool stuff in it. I've never actually seen this collector's edition before, and he was thinking about getting it for his dad. I'm coming across more Nintendo games, Atari 2600. A lot of this is more common type games. Got some N64 commons, more Atari stuff, got Wii U games, and man, there's just so much stuff in here. Wii games, GameCube stuff, and then as you keep going down the aisle, they actually have a selection of DVDs and VHSs, which I know the VHS collections have gotten a lot more sought out, which is interesting. I knew that would eventually happen. And just kind of going around, and you can see so many action figures. More DS games and Genesis stuff that's common. There's some PC games in there in the middle, kind of mixed in with Dreamcast games. And then you got your Xbox One, Xbox 360 games. I'm sure if you're looking for some of those more common games, you can find them in these shelves. There's so many. This really hit my nostalgic feels right here. Seeing these old school Pokemon, man, I was just blown away seeing those. And they have all these extra plushies and all types of stuff, but those keychain things were awesome. Now, some of the pickups I got, the first thing I have here is Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask Collector's Edition book. This thing was super nice. I actually didn't see this until Becker pointed it out to me. It's a hard copy of the strategy guide, and it's in such nice shape. It even came with these really cool Zelda stickers that haven't even been used. And of course, I'm not going to use them. I'm going to keep them with the book, but I'm excited to actually play the game and maybe even use it as a reference. I'm a big strategy kind of guy anyway, especially for the games I love to play. I also picked up X-Men 2, and you can thank my friend Spade for that, the one from the last video. He has that game, and I never had a chance to play it, but watching him play just made it, man, it really got me wanting to get this game for my collection. And like I said earlier in the video, I don't have a whole lot of Genesis games, so I wanted to grab that. And I also ended up picking the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game up. We got it for Spade because it was on his list, but now I'm not sure if he's going to want it, only because he might either want the Super Nintendo one, or they're coming out with a Cowabunga collection for the Switch, which means he might actually want to get that instead. So if not, I'll be happy to add this one to my collection. Another awesome game I picked up was Ultimate Spider-Man for the GameCube. See, I wanted to play this game a long time ago. I never had a chance to. I always saw gameplay, and I thought it was neat because when you're playing it, it has this comic book style. It's an original story that reminded me of watching something like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, how you're watching that movie and it's going through like a comic book. Playing through this game, it made me feel like I was playing a comic book or something. Going through and using the Spider-Man mechanics, like swinging across the city or fighting bad guys. I'm actually really surprised how well this game plays, especially with the newest Spider-Man games that have come out for the PlayStation 4. Those games are so good. I even have the PlayStation 4 Pro Spider-Man Edition one. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I've always liked Spider-Man. And so playing through this, it really was a game I was so happy I picked up. This thing was in really great shape. It felt like it was almost brand new. The book wasn't messed up. The disc was near perfect in my opinion. It didn't have any scratches or buffs. Case was in great shape. So I feel like this was a really solid find. And if you ever get the chance to buy this game, don't miss out on it. It is one that you shouldn't sleep on for sure. So that's my video on Total Nostalgia in Trinity, Alabama. If you're ever in Alabama, do you think this is a store you'll stop at? Got a lot of really cool stuff in there. It is definitely top notch. You're gonna find so many cool toys and games, you name it. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. If you really enjoy these videos, please hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more of these game stores that maybe you didn't know about. And until next time, 8-Bit Frog, peace.